All right, what I wanted to show you here, I mean, you saw the formula for waves before. That's not so important as what I'm going to do now. Let's talk about phase. Now, we've got our little wave there. If I draw another little wave, so you've got two waves. If they're at the same point in their cycle at the same time, then we call that in phase. All right? If the two waves are at an opposite part of their cycle, it's better to look at the maximum part. Maximum positive, maximum negative. Maximum negative, maximum positive. These guys are 180 degrees out of phase. In phase, out of phase. These two guys in phase, they will constructively combine. Constructively. Remember that word from year 12? And when they constructively combine, their amplitudes get twice as big. So amplitude doubles. Now, when they're out of phase, these two guys, they destructively combine. And there is zero amplitude. This is interference, constructive interference and destructive interference. Out of phase, destructive interference. In phase, constructive interference. Zero amplitude for out of phase, double the amplitude for in phase. Now when they're in phase, you're still going to get times when the wave is zero. They're in phase. They're both going through zero at the same time. So we're still going to get that, right? They're just in phase. But these guys are going to be zero all the time because no matter where you place a point on this line here, you're going to have equal and opposite signal or amplitude on the other graph. So they're always going to cancel out and they're going to be zero all the time. That's important. Now, just with reference to degrees, sometimes I might use radians in my talks. So 90 degrees equals pi over 2 radians. 180 degrees equals pi radians. 270 degrees, I think you're getting the hang of this, 3 over 2 pi radians. And 360 degrees equals 2 pi radians. So sometimes I use radians for talking about degrees. So out of phase is pi radians. Difference, 2 pi radians or 0 radians, 0 pi radians means completely in phase. We've got 2 pi radians difference. So that's a phase difference, and often we use this symbol here for looking at that phase difference. So combining of waves, something we used quite a lot, and we saw it with diffraction so that we would get these points with, say, a ripple tan core with light coming together, where you'd get these areas where you get this constructive interference or destructive interference. And this is also is the reason we get this whole diffraction business going on. Okay, the next video, number 3, is on the mathematical combining of waves. Don't need to know it. Good for you guys that are doing maths.